One more chance. Apologies for this, guys. That's not ideal. Thanks for joining us, folks. Campaign mission, yeah. This, as we will give you another look around. This is the ship that you go out. You can here. I do have the extension here, which is you can have the original Next Generation, which is down the bottom here. You can select that, and you will be on board the Enterprise D. The ship we are on here. You can also have the original Enterprise, obviously, which is nice. But the ship that we're on, that's most popular, because that's in the original game without any expansions, if you will, or extensions, is this one here, which is the Aegis. And you can see we're looking out after the ship, I believe it's called, towards the nacelles. And that's what it looks like. We're obviously right up there, as you see it come around. We're up there looking back down the middle. We're not having any luck here at all, it would seem. This is a very, very brief overview of the game. Not a great one. Maybe what we'll do is we'll do a training. That's what we do. Nobody's around, so we'll do some training. I need to train him. So we go back out, and I'll do a training mission. As you can imagine.
What's your favorite aspect of the gameplay?
Well, you're working as a team. You all get a station on the bridge. You'll see that in the training. You all get a station on the bridge, and you can be at the helm where you're flying the ship, and or you can be in engineering where you're rerouting the power to different various sections depending on what you need, to shields or to engines or to phasers, whatever it may be. Outside of that, you then have tactical, which is obviously scanning weapons, disrupting other people. We have the Enterprise D there as we come around. Hello. That's an iconic ship, I think, in the world of Star Trek. It's one. Let's see. We'll do a training mission here, and we'll see if we can get an idea of what it's like whilst on board. I just like the game, and then hopefully you have 4 people. You have a captain, I'll say, the engineer, the helm, and the tactical officer. And as you're working on the bridge, especially in VR, you're literally looking around yourself, and you're looking around and you're pointing. Everything is thin thing, and you're just using your hands to use, and it's very tactical. It's actually a bit like I think more like Discovery and Picard, where they have these virtual displays rather than the full-on tactical one, or the ones that you look at. You can see here.
Welcome to the Starfleet Training Simulator.
Our
system is currently configured to train command crew of Aegis-class starships. Here you may learn about the roles and responsibilities of each officer on the bridge, and how to operate all of the controls of their command stations. Feel free to experiment and get comfortable with the ship here in the simulator before moving on to the real thing.
So this is the... we'll give you an idea of each thing here. We start with helm.
As helmsman, you are the ship's navigator, responsible for maneuvering the ship and navigating within and between star systems. Your crew depends on you to get the ship wherever needed, to avoid collisions with hazards in space, and to maneuver for tactical advantage in combat situations.
Okay, so...
Your local map can be used to mark ships and objects as waypoints, to check your proximity to hazards and gauge when you are close to being detected by hostiles. Touch any target on the map to select it.
Okay, so we have a target here. Impulse.
No course plotted.
Oh, we got the different things here. Okay. Enemy ship, so we would actually blow that up. So. We can share, you can steer the ship here. This is your 360 axis. Gas housing to the ship. We take the power off. We come to a full stop.
Your basic maneuvering controls allow you to give the ship forward or reverse thrust, to steer the ship to port or starboard, and to move the ship up or down on its vertical axis. The amount of thrust you can give depends on the amount of power your chief engineer allocates to engines. The more power your engines have, the more responsive the ship will be. Maneuvering controls are only available when your local map view is active.
Okay, so again,
the
this is the...
controls your speed and also allows you to reverse or make a full stop.
So we have done that, we've increased the speed. Alright, so that's just the speed, and when we go through the impulse...
Your ship's impulse drive allows you to travel quickly between planets and other points of interest within a star system. To travel via impulse, you will first need to plot a course by choosing a destination on the impulse map. Once the course is plotted, you will then need to align your ship with the appropriate heading and engage the impulse drive. Be aware, the impulse drive cannot be engaged unless the chief engineer has allocated sufficient power. Select any point of interest in the star system to plot a course to that destination.
So I think we've selected...
Now return to the local view and steer the ship to line up with your plotted course.
So you see here now, we're going to turn around. Turn around to line up with the axis in order to go to impulse. And you'll see once we get there.
Have you a favorite bridge or ship?
Grab and push your throttle to engage the impulse drive.
Do I have a favorite ship?
Will automatically follow the course you
plot. I'm quite fond of the Defiant. A friend of mine is also but in this, I like the Aegis. I actually like the Aegis for functionality and ease. The Enterprise D is a little more clunky, a bit more real to the Enterprise D, obviously, and it looks exactly like it. This is a bit more modern feel about it and just nice. So we've done that, and then we go to. We can go to a warp. Try a warp destination. See if there's a. We're in Alpha. We go to Beta.
Defiant is the biz.
It is. It really is. It's an incredible ship. I do like the name. Gets away from me now, but the. I think it was in Voyager, the warship that breaks into two pieces or multiple pieces to fight. That's kind of cool. It's completely lunatic stuff, but we will now do a warp destination.
Prometheus.
The Prometheus, correct. Oh, there we are. We are now within warp range, and we're going to punch it here again. We don't have enough power, do we not? I haven't selected that. I've selected the destination. So selected the destination, we go back to our local map. Maybe we just... Ooh. Maybe we center it better. maybe he wants us to do the final station menu one, is it? No. Okay, so essentially there what happens is we go back to, sorry, I'll go back to Helm and see if we can get an idea of what, we can get an idea, full stop. Have we enough power to the engines? Oh, hold on, we have other options here, hold on. Warp travel, here we go.
The ship's warp drive can distort space around the ship to propel it faster than light across the vast distances between star systems. The tremendous amount of energy needed for warp travel will require you to coordinate closely with the chief engineer. To travel by warp, it is your responsibility to plot a course by selecting a star system on your warp map. When the course is plotted, you will need to align the ship.
The chief enemy in this
before you can enter warp
are the Klingons. There are Borg and other enemy too, but the chief one is the Klingons, as far as I can make up.
Select a star system to plot a course to it. Now return to the local view and steer the ship to line
we are
up
charging
with your plotted
nacelles.
course.
You can see up the top there warp coils, or sorry, the warp coils. Once we have that, we have to punch it again. And you can only imagine what this is like in VR. It's kind of freaky, it's kind of cool. It plays to the geek in us. Yeah, so let's see what other options are. We've done warp travel, we've done ship signature, the help overlay. So we kind of covered on what Helm has done here. We'll maybe we'll go to the topics. Oh no, sorry. Go back.
Warp coil discharge imminent.
Captain, the warp coils are about to discharge.
Wait. So we have to.
Warp coils discharged.
Okay, full stop. Okay, so we'll go back. We'll go back to station menu and we'll show you tactical, for example. Quite fond of tactical as a position.
Officer, you are in charge of the ship's weapons, defenses, and scanners. In combat
You can see here system intrusion and
you must
transporter on the
coordinate with
left.
rest of the bridge crew
You
to
can
protect the
access
ship
them from other
and deal with
stations like
any threats
engineering
to it,
and
but
helm
you also
if
have
needs
a
be, if
crucial
there's a
role in
battle going on.
non-combat situations. It is the tactical officer's responsibility to scan nearby ships and other objects in the environment.
And
to reveal
yeah,
vital
absolutely.
information
This is for all the nerds out there who'd like.
in
So
order to scan anything or to fire on it, you must first target it. To select a target, simply select the appropriate icon on your map. Once you've selected a target, a display will show all currently known information about your selection. Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map.
okay, so we got an enemy here. And we can scan. What you'll find is that the captain is given orders. It's a very real human interaction. This is not done, it's not automated. So when you have 4 people on the bridge, the captain has to say where to send the power, say where to go to, what the next part of the mission is. He gets all his stuff on his captain's screen. And you really are working as humans, and the humans make mistakes. Example for example, when I scanned there, I scanned not only weapons, I scanned shields and engines all at the same time. It may be vital, and a scan will go quicker if you just select one of those. But for me, you know, I mean, people are going to make mistakes, and in a battle or in a situation where you're trying to avoid, especially the Borg, like the Borg ones are relentless. So it's out of range at the moment, we'll arm, we won't arm torpedoes because that's all part of the same thing. So we've selected a target. This is scanning. You've seen scanning there. You select the target, you hit the
or to
scan.
locate people or objects of interest in another
But like
vessel.
that, once
Some
you're in
objects
doing
are
all this,
scanned with a simple general scanning action. This
once you're
happens
doing all this,
automatically
it's
when the object is targeted. More
it just
complex
becomes cool
objects, like other
under
ships,
pressure.
can be scanned for specific properties, such as the locations of any weak points in a ship's system.
The Kobayashi Maru is a scenario you can do here,
Scanning them all
which
at
is
once much slower than
obviously
scanning a
legendary.
single specific
I'm sure
system. Scanning is
Trolloc, you'll
required
understand
before
that.
it's possible to transport people or cargo
It's just a
off
lot
another
of fun.
vessel,
It's a lot of
or
fun.
before being able to target weak spots of
You don't get
enemy
to cheat
ship
the way Kirk
systems.
did, but
Target a nearby
you know.
ship by tapping its icon on the map.
It's really about how many people. The success, obviously.
Here you can select what systems you want to scan. Scanning a single system will always be faster than scanning multiple at once.
We're getting
Also,
this.
the
So you
closer
can
the
see there,
ship
you can
is to the
select
target,
both systems or
the
one.
faster you can scan.
And we'll
Scan
show
the
you there.
ship's engines
We scan
now
for life
to reveal
signs.
their status, and any weak points which would allow you
Oh,
to
I've done
damage
both.
the engines directly.
The Kobayashi.
Yeah. You're gonna lose. It's just how well you score. We'll show you how to activate shields
As
here.
tactical officer, you have
And
control
again,
over raising
it's all
and
tactical. You're
lowering the
using your
ship's
hands and all that in the
shields.
VR.
When raised,
I'm using this.
the
It's
shields
still,
will charge up to
you get
maximum
kind of an
strength
idea
over time.
because
They
you're
are
moving
your
around
best
like this.
defense against
But
damage to the
it's just
ship.
really,
when
really
shields are
cool.
lowered or down to 0 strength, any damage to the ship may cause serious harm to onboard systems, or even loss of life to your crew. When shields are raised, the chief engineer can direct power to them to increase their effectiveness. Raise the shields now.
So
There is a delay while power is channeled into the shield emitters before the shields come online. In a combat situation, remember that you need to raise shields before the enemy fires.
exactly. So you can see the shield status there. It's now at 100%, but there is that delay. There's no point in waiting, and you can imagine when you realise there's an enemy present or around, all of a sudden that may become a thing, or you may be beaming somebody off another ship. That may be the thing. Like in the Kobayashi Maru, it's to rescue as many people as possible and get out and be safe or all that. But and there's sacrifices to be made. But like that again, you have to be aware. You have to get that up. So we have another couple of things here. With torpedoes, is quite simple. You just activate them here. You will see them. Well, we don't have. You have to go into it to happen. But basically,
torpedoes are a devastating
you
weapon.
arm them.
They can automatically track a moving target and deliver heavy damage on impact. However, before you can fire them, you must first give the order to arm them. Arm your torpedoes now. Each torpedo tube takes time to load. Your supply of torpedoes for any mission is limited, so use
You can
them
see
wisely.
the
Target
loading of
nearby
those
ship
torpedoes there.
and fire torpedoes at it.
And what you have to remember is as well, you have to be ordered to turn them on. Not because you can't turn them on anyway, but you turning them on is draining ship's power, or doing something like that. And of course, if you don't want to be detected, the more energy, of course, you use. The more energy you use, the more energy you use, obviously, the more the wider or the further away somebody can detect you from. So we have our target selected. We have them armed. We will fire 1 and fire 2. And we have explosion. Again, we're out of range for phasers at this time. That's due to the fact that there's only so much on. But also, the next ones are up there. We haven't destroyed them completely, so we'll go again. You can increase and decrease the scanning area. So we have 1, 2. I don't know who this is, but it must be target practice. Oi, these guys are resilient. We could scan. We scan them there again. It may be a case where we have to disrupt their shields. Yeah.
Phasers can be used to precisely target weak spots
Didn't
on
ask for
another vessel.
phasers, but anyway.
To use this ability, you must first scan the desired subsystem of a target, such as its weapons or engines. Once scanned, you must then select that system. As long as a scanned system is selected, Phasers will
guy
auto-target
talks a lot.
that system's weak points. To hit a subsystem, the target's shields must be down or inactive. Second, your ship must be correctly facing the targeted point. If the target's shields are raised, or you are attacking from the wrong angle, firing in subsystem targeting mode will do minimal damage. When dealing with other ships, targeting individual systems is a good way to disable them or neutralize a threat without outright destroying the ship. This may sometimes be necessary to accomplish your mission objectives. Target the nearby ship and scan its weapons systems.
Scan its weapon systems. So we can scan. We have a single scan on there. You can see how much faster it is just to do that, and that can be
Now select
vital.
the ship's weapon systems to lock on to their weak points. Your phasers are now in subsystem targeting mode.
Yeah.
Fire them for a precision attack. Until the target's shields are down, you will not be able to hit the targeted system.
Yeah, and see there, that's my point there. You can't, you can, like in some cases here as well, you will have, you'll target subsystems in order to maybe disable them rather than. We'll. And you can see the phasers there. You can turn this to, I believe, yeah, that's a beam. Let's scan the shields. It must be a case of yeah, so we must have to do another one.
Phasers can be used to precisely target weak spots of another vessel. To use this
We've done that. And again, system intrusion and transporter and the like. We'll do a transporter.
Your ship is equipped with standard transporters for beaming objects or personnel aboard from other vessels or locations. Transporting first requires the tactical officer to scan the target vessel or location. If any mission-critical items or personnel to transport, the target will appear on the transporter interface. It will take time to acquire a lock-on before you can beam, and you must remain in range for the lock to succeed. The transporter cannot penetrate through your ship's own shields or those of another ship, so you must coordinate with tactical to make sure your shields are down when you need to transport. If you are attempting to beam something from a hostile vessel, your crew will first have to disable its shields.
Most of this
Activate
is
the transporter interface.
most of this
Target
is
a nearby
fairly
ship by tapping its icon
standard.
on the map.
Yeah, as you can imagine. We're scanning for life signs and engines, obviously.
Select the damaged ship from the list of targets.
So we can select a ship, then once
Lock
that
onto the
is,
survivors aboard
we
the
have
ship
24
to prepare for
survivors.
transport. To lock on, your ship must be in transport range and unshielded. The target's shield, if any, must also be down.
we can lower shields. We now have a lock time. We do have. I do have to look this way in order to. You can see there, we can transport 6 at a time. We have 24 on board. This is obviously, if this was something like the Kobayashi Maru, it's I think that's right. It will. This is a lot of time to be exposed with shields down. So
You have transporter lock on the survivors. Give the order to energize.
So we have the order to energize.
The survivors are now safely aboard the Aegis, but you can only transport 6 at a time. Anytime there are more than 6 targets to transport from a single vessel, you will need to perform multiple transport cycles.
He says it. So we can do that 3 more times, obviously, but that's transporters. We'll do one more. We'll be in aboard one more time. But all this is quite complicated but very enjoyable. And we have 12.
Remaining aboard the target.
There are others aboard the target, but we're good here. Okay. So I think you kind of get an idea of what tactical's like. We go to the station menu. And we do engineer before doing
As
captain.
Chief Engineer, you support all other members of the bridge crew by keeping the Aegis operating in top
So
condition.
each
You monitor
individual
vital
place
status
is in,
information about the
you know,
ship's
has its
systems,
own
allocate power
strengths
needed
and
for
weaknesses.
maneuvering and combat, and manage the ship's power grid to compensate for damage or boost its capabilities. You also manage the ship's repair teams and keep an eye on how visible the Aegis is to other ships in the area.
It's quite a... So,
Your
system
systems
display.
display gives vital information about the status of the ship's various systems at all times. When your ship is suffering from negative effects, this panel provides information about the source and severity of the effect. As Chief Engineer, you have more detail about your ship's status than any other member of the crew. Activate your systems display now.
So that's your systems display. Okay, we do show you how power allocation works.
How you allocate power determines how effective each of those systems is. As situations change, you'll need to communicate with the rest of the crew to keep them supplied with power and to anticipate when to make critical adjustments. One of your most essential responsibilities as Chief Engineer is to distribute available power between each of the ship's major systems. Try giving maximum power to engines now.
So maximum power to engine serves. I should have paid more attention to what he was saying. So engine power.
Now try giving maximum power to shields. You will have
So
to reduce
shield.
power to other systems first.
See, so maybe take some off. So you got, this is the amount of spares you got up here. So you got 5. You can only, like, you can see there, we have 5 in play and 5. So you've about 10 areas in which you can fill. So you could have 3, 4, I guess. Something like that. But now we have no more power to distribute. So in order to reduce that, yeah, we take off some of that power. And we bring shields right up. So you see, that's all going on. And of course, you're going to have different priorities, sometimes instantaneously. And then you'll see how we charge the warp
Before the
coils here.
ship can travel between star systems, you must make the ship ready and charge its warp coils. This draws a tremendous amount of power, and you will be unable to make any further changes to power allocation or routing while prepping for warp. Begin preparing for warp now.
Okay, so long range travel, going to
Charge
warp,
the warp coils.
charge
The
the coils.
helmsman will have a limited time to engage the warp drive,
That's
or the
the tricky
coils will
bit,
automatically
keeping the balance.
discharge to prevent damage
Yeah,
to the ship.
it really is, and it's a great problem. It's a great thing to have. Like, I mean, if you're engineering, you're like, you're all over the place. I need more power to this. I need all the power. You don't only have to do that. You'll probably get an idea of it now. You'll get an idea in just a second. So we've charged the coils. We're all,
Warp
I
coil
think.
discharge imminent.
Okay. So and see there now, if we don't go off, the charge remaining goes. So
Warp coils discharged.
okay. So we'll give you an idea of what it's like for repairing systems. You're also
When the ship
required,
sustains damage,
whilst
it's up to you
distributing
to
power,
deploy
to repair
crews and
systems
get
that have been
critical
damaged at the
systems
same
back
time.
in working order. You have a limited number of crews available. You may send multiple crews to repair a single system faster, or you may spread them out to work on multiple systems at once. Activate your repair controls now. We have simulated damage to your phaser banks and scanners. Assign repair crews to both systems to get them back to full working condition.
Oop, what am I doing? Oh, sorry. Okay. So in there, see now the time, 20 seconds there, and then this guy can go here. It's 20 seconds, but if I add a second one, that halves to 7 seconds. So again, you have limited crews repairing different systems. Scanners are back. Phaser banks are about to be
Sensor
fixed as well.
array restored.
So,
Phaser array restored.
but you can imagine that's not, you have 6 systems and limited number of crew to assign to them. Another balance that you have to do all of that whilst in the middle of a battle. Is there any other thing here that might be interesting? We've seen the rerouting power. Well, I haven't showed you ship signature.
Various systems of the ship affect how easily other vessels can detect the Aegis. The Aegis is designed to avoid detection at ranges where other Federation vessels would be easily visible to another ship's sensors. As Chief Engineer, you can monitor all systems which are affecting the ship's signature and gauge the range at which the Aegis will be detectable to other vessels. This information is vital when trying to avoid contact with hostile ships.
So we can reduce power in all sections in order to be detectable over a much shorter range. That's displayed on tactical, but we can see how far it is. That we can see how far. So, you can see up here detectable at 19.9 kilometers. You can get that down, I believe, to about 5 to 10 kilometers. We're quite low at the moment, but I have to keep. Or anybody who's at this station would have to keep an eye on that if we're trying to do something that's in stealth mode and not trying to get detected, just in case we've entered the neutral zone and we might start an interstellar war. So let's go and look at the final position, which is captain, and this is there are some people who really relish this position. I like
As
it,
captain,
but
you are
not
in
my favorite
overall
position.
command of the crew. It is your responsibility to communicate with and to coordinate the actions of the other officers on the bridge. You'll receive important updates on mission status and also have direct control of the main view screen.
So objectives.
The captain's objectives feed contains vital information about your ship's mission. Updates from support crew and Starfleet Command are reflected here, so that you will always know what your crew needs to accomplish. Open the objectives feed now.
And again, this is the holodeck. This is not. Excuse me.
Some objectives also have more detailed
This is
information.
not the actual
Sometimes
ship
you,
itself. This
as
is the holodeck,
captain,
as you can
must choose
see.
between different
This
ways
is
to
simulation
complete an
for training.
What is your
and direct
favorite
crew
bridge area?
accordingly. In all
Tactical.
cases,
Definitely
your
tactical.
crew depends
I
on
love doing
you
it. I
to
mean,
keep them informed
probably
of
I
their
do it too
goals.
much,
Select
but I'm
the
shooting
objective
things.
for more information.
What can I say? So we got an mission objective here.
Sometimes you will receive additional information to help with your mission.
True.
Keep an eye out for your intel feed, located near your objective readout for tips and hints.
Yeah, I'm. Let's just say that I'm probably a big kid, literally at heart. For those who know what that would mean. Let's
As
see.
captain, you can answer a hail when messages from Starfleet or other ships are received. If the message is accompanied by video, it will be displayed on the main view screen. Answer the incoming hail now.
Aegis, this is Captain Uku of USS Huxley. Our system checks are complete. We're ready to go. We'll stand by and follow you out when you're ready.
Yeah. And again, the great thing as well when you're interacting with other people, this is all voice commands. You have impulse, warp, view screen here. You can pull up different things. You can go outside the ship. We can take that off. We can magnify. So you
It
can
is
do
very
everything.
immersive. You have to make choices.
Yeah, you really do. You really do. I
At
think
any
I was just
time
showing the
while on
external view
bridge,
there.
You can use an external view to see what is going on
What's great
outside
about it as
and
well
around
is
the
when
ship.
you're on the VR, which is unreal. Hold the L1 button. This is what it looks like outside. And it really is a case of being fully immersed in this. Like when you're in VR, you're looking around like this, and you're looking out windows, you're looking around the place, and you can point at people. Some people tend to do rude gestures. I'm not going to say anything more about that. Station menu. Oh no, we have more options here. See what we got here. ship
As
status.
captain, you can access basic information about your ship's status. Open your status displays now. The status information available to you is helpful, but no substitute for the more detailed knowledge of your chief engineer.
Exactly. So this is where it helps you decide where you need power to, where you have the power right now, where to take it from. All of that stuff. All the good stuff. You need to be particularly quick and coordinated and understand what you need to do in the mission
As
to be the captain.
you have the same maps at your fingertips as your helm and tactical officers. You may use
Have
these
you gone
to
through
aid
the entire
communication,
gameplay?
to identify a target for
I've gone through a lot of it.
or to
I've gone through a lot of it. I haven't played every mission.
Targets and nearby destinations are selected
You know,
from the local map.
I don't
which
obviously
shows
haven't
objects
played
of
it. You
interest
don't always
around you.
remember the same
Open
missions,
the
but
local map
there's a
view.
lot of it. And of course with the other emulators and stuff like that. So open local map here.
Now touch any object on the map to select it as your target. Some orders you give to the crew require you to first designate a target or destination, exactly as you just did.
Yeah. So in the event of this, I could select that target and say fire or whatever. So I've been through a bit of it.
When playing alone or with AI members of the command crew, the captain gives orders to the AI officers. To give an order to a specific officer, look at them and use the orders system to select from the available commands. Remember, some commands will first require that you select a target or destination. Try ordering your chief engineer to prioritize power to engines. Some orders apply to the entire crew. To access these orders, look towards the central console in front of you. First, select the closest ship from your local map. Then try ordering the crew to investigate it.
Okay. I can't remember if this is voice authorized. Engineer. No. This is much easier when you're doing it with people. What's that there? Okay.
Torpedoes on safe.
So there you go. So you select it there. So you analyze target now. I would have to select something for that, obviously. No warp destination set. So again. Oh, here we go.
Aye. Full stop.
So full stop. So you get an idea there. You have a lot of stuff. This is all voice command when you got people. That's what's better about it. It's a little bit more clunky. We got the impulse map. We got the warp map. We've seen that. We got the view screen here.
Captains have control of the main view screen. You may choose to display any of several different overlays on the view screen. With information about your ship's system status, try the different views and overlays available. Open your view screen controls now. The target and magnify views only work when you are targeting another ship or object. Magnify provides an up-close view of your selected target. Target view provides enhanced situational awareness, showing both your own ship and your target at once.
So you can see here, this is what you'd be seeing in the system when you got in. You can see as well the displays are done with hollow emitters coming out of the arms of this chair, which is quite cool. The detail it's hugely immersive, especially in VR, as I said. But I have to say, I don't mind playing it like this, especially when I'm broadcasting. I still thoroughly enjoy this game. You can take over an AI position as well. You can give up the command position and go over to engineering, or you can go to one of the other things if you're not getting the thing you want. You can go to red
In
alert.
emergency situations, you can sound a
think there's
red
a button down
alert
here.
to notify your ship's crew. If you are playing with an AI as tactical officer, she will interpret a red alert as a request to prepare for combat. Try activating red alert now.
Aye. Shields up. Arming torpedoes.
And again, when I press that button and something like that happens, it's like it brings you back, and it really gives you the sense of working on a ship when you're doing it. This is the beginning, especially the VR, is the beginning of, and I know people on the US Cuchulainn, which is a group I'm involved with. Really nice people. They have all that, and they play another one, Artemis, and I have that as well. This takes Artemis when in VR. This takes all that even into another level, and this can I can only imagine if PS5 is coming out later in this year, if something like this is to be included in it. So we've gone through the places. What I'll do is I'll do one last chance at trying to get a bridge crew together and have one real quick mission, to give you an idea of what that's like, all working together. And you've good officers and you've bad officers, and you have experienced officers, and you've guys who are learning, just like the guy that we met earlier on. We'll go for a quick match and we'll try and do it. Looking for a match. Come on. Send me to the US servers, because there'll be tons of people on. Come on. At least match me with a couple of people. Ah, that's disappointing. Okay, it looks like we're out of luck tonight. I will promise to run a mission on this tomorrow. If you like it, if you like this, just what you can do is you can follow me on Facebook. I don't know how you got to this, if it was through Twitch, but I will set a time for tomorrow. I hope to be on about 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow Irish time. The first thing I'm going to do is a mission on here. I done a couple of other things first because I was hoping that a mate of mine was going to join us. Unfortunately, that didn't happen tonight. We could have probably done it with two. Doing on your own, it's a little bit more difficult. You give it all AI people. And of course, tomorrow's a Friday night, so there should be a lot more people on. We will do something like this tomorrow, and hopefully you'll get a good idea of what we've just all seen there, how all that works in reality when you're trying to do a mission. And we might do a few missions depending on who's available. I do know that my friend's not available tomorrow night, but there should be plenty of people online, and hopefully there is. Listen, folks, thanks for joining us. This is the start of something. As I say, this is my second day doing this live with a lot of people. I've been doing broadcasting before, but this is the first time I've tried to do it well and try to do it totally immersive. Give us a follow. I'm trying to get up to 50 so that I can bring more content to you, to 50 followers. That allows me to give rewards back, and I will, for followers, run competitions and do merch for various different things. Thank you for staying with us. We have quite a few people on here for only my second day like this. I want to thank Trelloc for getting involved and asking the questions. That's what this is all about. Tomorrow, I'll do that while trying to perform my duties as a Starfleet officer, hopefully. And to Ryan again for joining us, thanks very much. And to all the other people who are on there that I'm not familiar who else they are, thank you. And let other people know that this is going to go on tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a bit more success. Thank you very much, folks, and I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.